People get ready, for the train is coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Welcome, viewing audience and listening audience, to the People Get Ready podcast with the legendary political guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. And today we're going to begin our program with two famous quotes from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. One is, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politics, nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. The second one is, it may well be that we will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the violent words and the violent actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence and indifference of the good peoples who sit around and say, wait on time. We know that those quotes are very relevant today. It is now time for opportunity, and this opportunity comes along with the Bibb Business Opportunity Grand Opening. And how do we get the opportunity? We get that opportunity through SNAP Delivered. SNAP Delivered is offering an opportunity for Employee Retention Tax Credit Program and ERC refund, $1.9 trillion. Did I say $1.9 trillion? Yes, $1.9 trillion is available. And who is it available to? It is available to those who wants to receive $26,000 per employee. And who are those individuals? Those individuals are businesses and also nonprofit organizations now can qualify for a federal tax refund check if you join SNAP Delivered for free, or you can join SNAP Delivered for free. If you need more information, you can call Mr. Charles E. Bibb's office at 216-681-1469 or his mobile phone at 216-659-4619. Everybody put your hands together, put your hearts together, draw your minds in, and get ready for this fantastic show with the legendary political guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. himself. Take it away, Mr. Bibbs.
Thank you, Reverend Ben Fair. That was an awesome introduction. And the way you did my new business, SNAP Delivery, you make me want to join all over again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Reverend Ben Fair, for that awesome introduction.
Yes, sir.
And right on time, as usual, one of the fastest moving people in the SNAP Delivery empire.
Yes.
Miss Candace Jones going to tell you further information. Miss Candace Jones, come on down front.
Candace Jones.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bibb. Mr. Bibb, first of all, I want to share some other information with you about Grandparents' Day, and then I'll share the really hot information about SNAP Delivered. So Grandparents' Day is this coming Saturday. It's a resource and family fair this Saturday at Luke Easter Park. Saturday, September 17th at Luke Easter Park. It's going to be a fun activity. There's going to be games for kids. There's going to be music. There's going to be gospel choir singing. So you want to come out. And the whole idea is to connect so that the community can contact with resources that they may not normally have contact with, because there will be opportunities for them to have contact with different resources as well. There'll be vendor tables out there. There'll be a SNAP Delivered table out there as a vendor. There'll also be a paparazzi table out there as well. So come on out. I was looking at the weather forecast. It's supposed to be a nice day on Saturday. So come on out and enjoy all the fun. Again, this coming Saturday from 11 to I think it's 11 to 5 or 11 to 6 at Lukista Park, Saturday, September 17th. So don't miss it.
And before you change, Miss Candace Jones, and for Reverend Ben Fair, there's going to be a special religious section and gospel by Reverend Brenda and Ware Abrams.
Oh, okay.
Going to have a special from 11 to 1.
Oh, that's great.
And she's going to have a lot of ministers and pastors there and choir singing from 11 to 1 on Saturday also.
Great.
So I thought I'd give her information about that. Thank you, Miss Candace Jones. And just like you said, you did a good job on the Grandparents' Day. And now we'll talk about SNAP delivery. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you again. So for those of you that know, SNAP Delivered started off as a food delivery service. It just launched last year, July of 2021. The food delivery service has been going very well, spreading out throughout the United States. It started in Jupiter, Florida. Now it's spread out to quite a few states across the United States. It's even going to be going international very soon. So it launched in Ohio this year in 2022. Dayton is really popular with it, and Cleveland has picked up as well. So a restaurant can come on board with SNAP Delivered for free. And what's the benefit of a restaurant coming on board is instead of the 20, 30, or 40% that the other delivery services charge a restaurant for each delivery, SNAP Delivered only charges them $2 per delivery. $2 per delivery. So the restaurants can be saving a lot of money. And nowadays with the restaurants coming out of the pandemic, they need to be able to save money. It's great for drivers because drivers get paid multiple ways as well. Drivers that are driving for the other delivery services don't get paid the multiple ways as they do with SNAP Delivered. They can keep their tips, they can have a fuel cost, and they can refer a restaurant, other drivers, or customers to SNAP, and they get paid for that as well. So that is a great opportunity. And I also want to share about the hot topic with SNAP Delivered is the ERC program. ERC stands for Employee Retention Credit. It's an employee retention tax credit. And why this is so hot is this program came out in 2020 as part of the CARES Act. It was the ERC and the PPP came out also. The PPP is the payroll protection program. So in 2020, when a lot of businesses were applying for the PPP loans, they went through a bank to do that. It was a fairly simple process to apply for. The ERC program is a little more cumbersome as far as applying for. So businesses applied for the thing that was the quickest and easiest to do because they wanted to get the money back into the business. So there's a lot of businesses that did not apply for the ERC tax credit. In 2020, you could only apply for one or the other, ERC or PPP. As of 2021, business can apply for both PPP and ERC. And if a business applied for PPP in the past, they can also now apply for ERC tax credit as well. So there's a lot of businesses out there that have not applied. And what's so great about it is a business can get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee in the tax credit. So a lot of businesses think that they may not qualify, but I would suggest that they contact a SNAP Delivered resource and find out the information how to, sign up for that and see if they qualify. So once a business signs up with their initial information, there's a fee of $2,600 that they pay to their accounting firm to start the process. If they find out that they can't get them any money, then they get the $2,600 back. So they're not out anything. So I would suggest they go ahead and do it. From what I heard from some companies that applied that didn't think they qualified, they did get money back. So it's not always the same money for each company. It varies based on the employees and the and the accounting firm will go through all of that for you. So you don't have to do it. You just supply them the documents to be able to do that calculation. And as a SNAP resource, so Mr. Bibb, if you had a business and you referred that business to go through the ERC program, you can get commission based off of the referral that you made through the ERC program. So there are, out of the number of small and medium businesses that are out there, there are only about between 3 and 5% that have actually ever applied for the ERC tax credit.
Wow.
And it's not like the PPP where there were funds where you had to go through the bank to get the money back. This is a tax credit, so it goes through the IRS. So it's not like there's a pool of money and it's dwindling down. So I would suggest that a business go through the process and apply, because they're not out anything if they don't qualify or don't get any funds back. A business can have from 10 to 500 employees. So if you're able to get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee, and you have 100 employees, you can, cash in a lot of money there. And unlike the PPP loans, once you get this tax credit, you don't have to pay it back. And you can use that money for whatever you want to use it for.
That's great.
Business can use it for whatever they want to use it for, and you don't have to pay the money back. So if you have questions about it, or you have a business that wants to get started, you can either contact Mr. Bibb or me. Mr. Bibb's number is 216-681-1469, or its mobile number 216-659-4619. And if you know a business that wants to, that can possibly qualify for it, and you want to be able to tap in on the commissions that are available, you can become an ERC agent
Okay.
by referring other businesses.
Okay.
And you sign up to do that for free. So
Great.
how is that?
That is great.
Got to tell everybody about that.
Yes.
Sam Pittman and Ben Fair.
Yes, sir.
James Jerome Bill, let's tell everybody we can about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So you can sign up to be an agent for free, refer the business, and make a commission off of the business that you have going through the process.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you very kindly. And later on, we're going to share some more information about this effort and how you can come and get this live and in living color information.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, next, who I'll be introducing is my youngest son, Reverend Fair, who's in Houston, Texas.
All right. Uh-huh.
And our first ever paying commercial spot.
All right.
Except I just told you he's my youngest son. So that goes to money. But he has several businesses in Houston, Texas.
Oh, that's great.
And
Mr.
is he on the line yet? Miss Candace?
I don't see him on the line yet.
Okay, we got a hot call coming in from Houston, Texas, and from Charlton, Edwards, so we'll bring him back later. And we're gonna move the agenda because we can't waste any time. And we will move right on to Tammy Kennedy, who will be replaced in addition to Tammy is Reverend Ben Fair. And Reverend Ben Fair, I want you to tell me about Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network and what's going to be going on in Cleveland in a week or two.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bibb. Yes, the National Action Network, which is NAN, the acronym for National Action Network, will be holding a debate forum. And the debate forum is going to be at the Union Hall in Shaker Heights, Ohio. And the date for those debate will be September the 26th and September the 27th. That's a Monday, September the 26th, and a Tuesday, September the 27th. So this forum will be, they will have a debate between our county candidates. Will be in full force. They'll be giving you all the information, hopefully, that you need to select your candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bibb.
Okay. And give us that date again and time so we don't forget it, please.
All right, so the dates will be September 26th and September the 27th. And the time, I think, is going to be at 12 noon.
All right. Thank you very kindly for that information. And next on our agenda, if we're getting ready to embark upon a very informative series debate for the next 3 or 4 weeks. And Ms. Sharon Penman, one of the marketing experts on our team and the business lady with Snap Delivery. Come on down, Ms. Sharon Penman, and tell us all about the Martin Luther King Jr. letter from the Birmingham jail.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Sharon Penman.
Yes, Mr. Bibb, thank you. As we know, we started introducing this 2 weeks ago. Last week, we read the letter from the clergyman that addressed Dr. King, and today I'm going to start with the opening of Dr. King's letter from Birmingham jail. Before that, I do want to say that from the Birmingham jail, where he was imprisoned as a participant in nonviolent demonstrations against segregation, Dr. Martin Luther King wrote in longhand the letter which follows. While confined here in the Birmingham City Jail, I came across your recent statement calling our present activities unwise and untimely. Seldom, if ever, do I pause to answer criticism of my work and ideas. If I sought to answer all of the criticisms that cross my desk, my secretaries would be engaged in little else in the course of the day, and I would have no time for constructive work. But since I feel that you are men of genuine goodwill and your criticisms are sincerely set forth, I would like to answer your statement in what I hope will be patient and reasonable terms. I think I should give the reason for my being here in Birmingham, since you have been influenced by the argument of outsiders coming in. I have the honor of serving as president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, an organization operating in every southern state with headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. We have some 85 affiliate organizations all across the South, one being in Alabama, Christian Movement for Human Rights. Whenever necessary and possible, we share staff, educational and financial resources, and our affiliates. Several months ago, our local affiliate here in Birmingham invited us to be on call to engage in a nonviolent direct action program if such are deemed necessary. We readily consented, and when the hour came, we lived up to our promise. So I am here, along with several members of my staff, because we are invited here. I am here because I have basic organizational ties here. Beyond this, I am in Birmingham because injustice is here. Just as the 8th century prophets left their little villages and carried their "Thus saith the Lord" far beyond the boundaries of their hometowns, and just as the Apostle Paul left his little village of Tarsus and carried the gospel of Jesus Christ to practically every hamlet and city of the Greco-Roman world, I too am compelled to carry the gospel of freedom beyond my particular hometown. Like Paul, I must constantly respond to the Macedonian call for aid. Moreover, I am cognizant of the interrelatedness of all communities and states. I cannot sit idly by in Atlanta and not be concerned about what happens in Birmingham. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Never can we afford to live with the narrow, provincial, outside agitator idea. Anyone who lives inside the United States can never be considered an outsider. You deplore the demonstrations that are presently taking place in Birmingham, but I am sorry that your statement did not express a similar concern for the conditions that brought the demonstrations into being. I am sure that each of you would want to go beyond the superficial social analyst who looks merely at effects and does not grapple with underlying causes. I would not hesitate to say that it is unfortunate that so-called demonstrations are taking place in Birmingham at this time, but I would say in more emphatic terms that it is even more unfortunate that the white power structure of this city left the Negro community with no other alternative. In any nonviolent campaign, there are 4 basic steps: collection of the facts to determine whether injustices are alive, negotiation, self-purification, and direct action. We have gone through all of these steps in Birmingham. There can be no gainsaying of the fact that racial injustice engulfs this community. Birmingham is probably the most thoroughly segregated city in the United States. Its ugly record of police brutality is known in every section of this country. Its unjust treatment of Negroes in the courts is a notorious reality. There have been more unsolved bombings in Negro homes and churches in Birmingham than in any other city in this nation. These are the hard, brutal, and unbelievable facts. On the basis of them, Negro leaders sought to negotiate with the city fathers, but the political leaders consistently refused to engage in good faith negotiation. I'm going to read this last paragraph of this first page of this letter to close out for today, and it further reads, "Then came the opportunity last September to talk with some of the leaders of the economic community. In these negotiating sessions, certain promises were made by the merchants, such as the promise to remove the humiliating racial signs from the stores. On the basis of these promises, Reverend Shuttlesworth and the leaders of the Alabama Christian Movement for Human Rights agreed to call a moratorium on any type of demonstrations. As the weeks and months unfolded, we realized that we were the victims of a broken promise. The signs remained. As in so many experiences in the past, we were confronted with blasted hopes, and the dark shadow of a deep disappointment settled upon us. So we had no alternative except that to prepare for direct action, whereby we would present our very bodies as means of laying our case before the conscience of the local and national community." I'm going to stop there this week with this letter from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King from a jail in Birmingham. This is the letter that he wrote in answer to those 7 clergymen who criticized his being there and called him an outsider. So,
Thank you, Ms. Shan Pittman.
you're welcome,
And
Mr.
as you
Bibb.
was reading that letter, and you did such a fantastic job on it.
Thank you.
You just got yourself another gig, Reverend Fair.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're going to be reading that letter during the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King luncheon that we have every year for the last 20-something
Okay.
years, with the march, the service, and the luncheon, and everything is free. So you're going to read that letter, the first page, and we're going to pass out the letter to everybody in the audience.
I will be honored to
You
read it
write
there.
that down and give that back to me so I can put it in my file.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to speak about that a little later in the program itself.
Yes, sir.
Which is Candace Jones, the dates, his birthday is January the 15th.
Yes.
We know, but the holiday is Monday, January the 16th, and the date of the celebration that we're doing, the march, the service, and the luncheon is Saturday, January the 14th, kicking off at the East Cleveland Library and marching in whatever weather comes to Starlight Baptist Church, and that's where you'll be speaking.
I'll be-
I ask you, Pastor, to excuse you for leaving church that day, coming to Starlight. Thank you.
I will be honored. Thank you.
All right. Reverend Ben Fair, Miss Candace Jones, they tell me my youngest son is on the phone.
All right. All right. Sounds
And,
exciting.
I don't know if you heard me say before, he's our first paid commercial over a year.
Yes, sir.
But won't be no pay because we're gonna be going to see the Cavaliers when they come to town.
All right.
And Sharpton, Evan, Bibb, are you in the house?
Yes, sir.
Sharpton, Evan, Bibb was in the house.
He's there.
Can you? Yes, sir. I'm here.
We can't hear you.
Let me try to
On
unmute.
mute.
No, I'm not on mute. Can you all
They
hear me
just
now?
keep moving around and
Wait a minute.
dribbling till they get itself together.
Hello?
Sharpton,
Hello? Yes. Can
Evan,
you hear me?
Bibb,
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How you guys doing?
tell us about B&B Studios in Houston, Texas.
B&B Studios in Houston, Texas. My barbershop, I've had it for 17 years. Is located at 13310 Cullen Boulevard, Suite E, Houston, Texas, 77047. It's trying to be a pillar of the community. Like I say, for the last 17 years, we pretty much entrenched. And this is really about the movement of our people.
Go right ahead. Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Oh, he's
Go
muted.
right ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead. We can hear you.
My phone sounds kind of fuzzy on this end.
No, we can hear you fine.
We're going to come back to you later on in the program. You get an extra chance, Charlton Edwin Bill. Now we're going to go to Mr. James Jerome Bell. He's going to tell us about Cleveland Clinic and these 1,200 jobs coming out from the city of Cleveland that they want to hire people from the city of Cleveland. Would you share that information with us, Mr. James Jerome Bell?
Yes, Mr. Bibb. Cleveland Clinic is in the midst of a hiring spree to hire 1,200 Cleveland residents, especially those from Ward 1, 4, 5, 6, and 9. So those particular wards encompass Cleveland Clinic hospitals. So it's an amazing opportunity for those, especially young people, who want to get a start in life in a career service industry with Cleveland Clinic. Some of the positions that are available are environmental services, housekeeping, transportation, and others. The Cleveland Clinic recently had a community career expo, and that was Saturday, August 27th, 2022 at the Cleveland Clinic South Point Hospital. It was a major success, and we're looking forward to Cleveland Clinic having another community outreach employment opportunity for those in the community. Remembering that Cleveland Clinic has a goal of hiring 1,200 Cleveland residents by December 31st, 2022. So it's an exciting venture for the Cleveland Clinic, and it's an outstanding opportunity for those who live in the city of Cleveland to truly get some foundational employment and enhance their future.
Thank you, Mr. James Jerome Bell. And I think we're going to take this a step further because we are able to. Dr. Gwen Jarvis has been in meetings with a representative from Cleveland Clinic. And I want to meet with you and her because you know that St. Vincent is closing down its hospital as a hospital, it's just a wellness center now. And see if we can set up a meeting in the city of Cleveland between representatives of Cleveland Clinic and St. Vincent Hospital to expedite the job search for them. So we'll make it easy for them and we'll do whatever it takes to do. We'll be in touch with authorities on both sides and the community and trying to get those. I got today, there are 600 people working at St. Vincent's now, and when they reduce their staff, they'll only have 100. So we're talking about roughly 500 people be looking for a job, and we want to try to help them. So I want us all, the whole podcast, to work on this, but I want you, James, Jerome, Bill, and Dr. Gwen Java to coordinate that as soon as possible.
That sounds good.
Thank you.
Sounds good. I have a personal story with St. Vincent Charity Hospital because
Okay, well, that'll come up later when I want you to tell us about it doing. Mike Seals will be bringing us up to date on that a little later in the program. Okay. Did Mr. Sharpton, Edwin Bibb make it back on the phone?
No.
No. Are we hearing from my good ally from Toledo yet?
No, she's not on yet.
Okay. Well, but I know my super good friend, Miss Joanne Harley's in the house, and she got to do 2 or 3 roles a night. Miss Joanne Harley?
Yes, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr.
Okay, I want you to tell me about your new cryptocurrency business, and I want you to help me with Miss Sharp, her program. She's not available for tonight, and I also want you to save Saturday, September the 24th, 4 p.m. We're going to have you out as a part of our business opportunity mall with cryptocurrency. The floor is all yours, Miss Joanne Harley, recording style, gospel, and pop, and soul. The floor is yours. Hit it, Miss Joanne Harley.
All right, thank you, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. Good evening, Ohio and around the world. Welcome to People Get Ready with Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. I am Joanne Hollywood, your cryptocurrency queen. I have some extraordinary information to share. Get your pen and paper out now. I am excited for what the future has to offer. I was blessed to be invited to join a private group that helps you build your legacy with cryptocurrencies without having to spend a lot of money and not having to leave home. But your options are unbelievable. It's giving me the chance to build my legacy and help my family and friends to do the same. I have people in line to sign up. I'm actually going to share how you can get the money you need now. If you want to receive an invitation to learn more, send me a text at 216-407-0008. That's 216-407-0008. Put 2 C's, CC, that stands for cryptocurrencies. I will send you the conference call number and times available. You won't be able to sleep. Anybody that knows me knows I believe in having money all the time, not sometime, all the time. Don't miss this, no excuses. If you want a lifestyle change, tell yourself, I will find a way, I will create a way, but I will not create an excuse. We're keeping Vivian Sharp in our prayers, our podcast queen. She's recovering well. So let's get moving today. I want you to be able to join us on our revitalization cruise. Start texting now. Back to you, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr.
Very good job, Miss Joanne. And I hope everybody heard that date. I'll repeat it. That's Saturday, September the 24th, 4 p.m. The refreshments are being served. Refreshments are being sponsored by the People Get Ready podcast. And we want everybody to come out. We're going to have a triple treat that day. Triple treat, Mr. James Jerome Bill. That means we're going to have 3 different businesses to try to help this community. You know, we're in Cleveland, the poorest city in the United States, and we're trying to help as many people as we can to do our part. So say that date, and the event will be held at Candler Park, 17325 Euclid Avenue at London Road, Cleveland, Ohio, 44112. Thank you. Now, speaking on behalf of Ms. Talley and bringing us up to date on the Ohio Unity Black Voter Empowerment campaign that's going on right now all over the state of Ohio. Ms. Candace Jones, who's on top of it, would you please bring us up to date on Ohio Unity Black Voters Empowerment Campaign 2022.
Thank you. So I want to share some information from their efforts. There are more than 500,000 Black Ohioans who could vote but are not registered. Are you one of those? Check, verify, and get registered during National Voter Registration Day, which takes place Tuesday, September 20th, which is next Tuesday, September 20th. And they have a time frame in here, 3:30 to 8 p.m. But if you can register in the morning or any time during that day or any time before the voter registration is over, do that. It's just that there's an effort to push on September 20th to get people out to vote. To get people registered to vote. So join the Ohio Unity Coalition and WZAK FM live at Popeye's Restaurant located at 7020 Carnegie Avenue and 12910 Buckeye. So that event will be Tuesday, September 20th from 3:30 to 8 p.m. Again, Popeye's Restaurant located 7020 Carnegie Avenue and 12910 Buckeye. This is a National Voter Registration Day. They will have everything that's needed to be able to register to vote if you're not. So if you are a registered voter, go out and get someone and bring them to register to vote because it's needed. Come out, power your vote. When we vote, we win.
That is excellent. Ms. Candace Jones bringing us up to date.
I just want to share one other thing also. There are, you may see these Ohio Unity cards around town quite a bit. And what these Ohio Unity cards are, they have a QR code. You can scan that QR code. It'll take you to a site where to ask you information. You can verify that you are registered with the Board of Elections. So there has been efforts from organizations that are against those getting out to vote in voter suppression, where voters are purged from the voter registration registry. So you need to verify that you are registered to vote if you have not voted in the past couple of elections at least. So this sign that's around town, it's a yard sign that's around town, signs hanging up, you can scan that QR code and check to see if you are registered at your current address.
Very good.
Thank you again. You did an excellent job, Ms. Candace Jones. And as always, like I did with Ms. Sharon Pittman, we're going to expand your job. Both of those Popeyes are in the city of Cleveland. Did you know that, Ben Fair?
Yes, sir.
But there's a city called East Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're going to participate in this, Ms. Candace Jones.
Okay.
And I've already talked with the library director. And this is the same day that we're going to be doing the remote from the Renaissance Hotel at the library.
Okay.
So if Ms. Candace Jones, if you'll get in touch with the East Cleveland library director, which is already a registration site, and we'll get that all set up. And you know his number and everything, so that the people who live in East Cleveland can go within a mile or two of the library, because the city's only 3.5 miles, so this will be beautiful. But if they want to send over some Popeye's chicken, we appreciate that too. Pass that on to the Popeye's chicken folks. Is that the way you do it, Brother James Jerome Bell?
Yes, sir.
We need some,
Yes, sir.
we need some Popeye's chicken out in East Cleveland on that day. Keep them coming, because Cleveland and East Cleveland voted 6% in the primary just a month ago, August 2nd. So we want to get everybody registered in both of these cities, and they fit this description: Ohio Unity Black Voter Empowerment Campaign. Thank you, Ms. Candace Jones.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along. And Mr. Bell,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Sharon Pinman,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to start this off, and you can tell us a little bit about the committees and things we're going to be working on the 60th anniversary. If you and Mr. Bell will change seats for a minute. And next year, save these dates: Saturday, August 26th, Sunday, August 27th, and the Big Day Reverend Fair, Monday, August 28th. The United States will be celebrating the 60th anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Can't hardly believe it. Been 60 years. And the Lord has blessed me. I was there to hear it live, and it's sure enough living color. So it'll be an extra celebration for me. And we're going to have buses going up there, Reverend Fair.
Yes, sir.
And we're working on that now, getting the buses together. We'll be in Oxford, Maryland, which is within a half an hour of the downtown Washington, D.C. We'll be there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
All
The
right.
bus will leave here at 12:30 a.m. Saturday the 26th. And the bus will be coming back from Washington, D.C. Monday, 6 p.m. And so we'll be taking reservations this coming, not reservations, sign up if you want to go, because we don't have the price yet. We're still working on it because of the COVID-19, the gasoline has skyrocketed. But we'll have this information for you out at the Grandparents' Day. And Louisa Park with Mr. Louis Moore. So Louis Moore, have us a table set up. We'll be taking reservations. And you don't want to miss it. Miss Sharon, what do you have for us along the lines of the 60th anniversary? Thank you.
As you mentioned, Mr. Bibb, thank you for having me back again. We are going to be taking buses up to Washington or over to Washington, D.C. for that momentous occasion. We also have committees planned for organizing this venture. We will have a marketing, advertising, and publicity committee, which basically will be putting the word out there to everyone, whether that will be a street team with pluggers and flyers, social media information. We also will have a sales committee that once we get that pricing for those buses and hotel rooms reserved, we'll have a team that will be selling those packages to people who want to take that trip for that 60th anniversary, as well a transportation committee, a travel and booking committee, and a food and beverage committee. The food and beverage committee will handle all of the food and beverages that we will have for our guests on the buses going and coming back, going to DC and coming back to Cleveland. So we will be taking care of our people. We will have them in the best hands possible for this trip, for the 60th anniversary of Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King's speech and the March on Washington. Mr. Bibb, back to you.
Thank you very kindly, Miss Sharon Penman. You're
You're
getting
welcome.
everything in order for this trip, and we're gonna need that because it's gonna be one of the biggest celebrations that we've had honoring Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes, sir.
In 2023, which is just about 11 months and some days from now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, is Mr. Mike Seals in the house? Is Mr. Mike Seals in the house?
Yes, sir, Mr. Bibb, I'm right here.
All right, well, Mr. Mike Seals, there's a big shock going across Cuyahoga County today in Ohio, the state of Ohio, about a hospital that's being scaled down. St. Vincent's Hospital. Would you share with us what you know about it, please?
Well, according to one of my former colleagues at one of our unions, St. Vincent Charity Hospital will be closing. I'm not sure the date, Mr. Bibb, but it definitely will be closing. There will no longer be overnight stays. It'll only be for offices purpose only, according to what they informed me. And one of the dates that I heard was June 15th. I'm not confirmed on that date, but it's definitely will be transitioning to just an office space rather than a overnight or a regular hospital as it is now. And as I get more information, I will definitely make sure that I let you know so that you can spread it through the community, because I think it's devastating that we are losing another hospital in the city of Cleveland.
Okay, I'll be able to help you a little bit with that, Mr. Seals. There are 600 employees at St. Vincent's now. They're going to reduce that down to 100. And some of them will be going to University Hospital. We don't know how many, but it's going to leave a big gap in there. They're only going to be known as a wellness center. They will not be doing patients or anything like that. The CEO of the hospital was on Channel 5 telling us that they took a big hit during the COVID-19 when they were not able to do any of those major operations and things like that. And revenue went down, took a big hit, and they were already losing patients before then, so that this just took them over. So we're going to be working with them and watching, seeing what we can do to help as a community podcast. And we have one of our co-hosts with us today, Mr. James Jerome Bibb, who experienced excellent service at St. Vincent's Hospital. Mr. James Jerome Bibb, will you tell us about your incident and how they took care of you? Thank you.
Yes, it was in May 1989. I had just gotten out
A little louder, please.
I had just gotten out of the military, and I was involved in a car accident where I had a craniotomy, and I had a blood clot removed from my brain. I was in a coma for 5 days in the hospital, 39, and the doctor, Dr. David Letton, said that I was the closest whoever came to dying in the history of his practice who didn't die. So I owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to St. Vincent, its staff, and also the legacy that it has in the community of serving those who are poor, disenfranchised, and disillusioned, and who would no otherwise be able to get medical care. So St. Vincent is an incredible institution, and I'm personally sorry to see it go.
Thank you, and we are all blessed that you came through, and I'm glad Dr. Levy was on duty that day.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is write an open letter to St. Vincent Hospital on what happened to you during that time. Because earlier in the show I'd asked you and Dr. Gwen Jarvis to be the liaison between the podcast and the two hospitals, the 1,200 jobs they're looking for. she has already made connection with Cleveland Clinic, and I want to make sure we get connection soon as possible because time goes fast when you're shutting things down. I'm from the city of East Cleveland. I seen our Huron Road Hospital shut down and then towed down, and now it's just a grass field. Nothing was ever put back there. They did give us Stephanie Tubbs Jones Daytime Center on Euclid Avenue. Reverend Ben Fair, would you speak a little bit about the hospital closing down, please?
Yes, sir.
What it means to the community.
Yes, sir. We know that charity means a lot to that community, Mr. Bibbs. It has served the community for a number of years, and I too have an experience there. My mom was there at Charity Hospital, Mr. Bibbs, and she was serviced there. They did a good job of taking care of her when she was there. So we know that the Charity Hospital has been there for a long time, years and years and years, and has served the community for a long time. So it's very, very sad to hear and to know that the hospital is going to be closing. So that's something that we're not going to look forward to, Mr. Bibbs. We know that the service is needed. That's a community. That community really needs a hospital, a medical center there to service those individuals in the community. So
Okay.
I hope that they can replace the hospital with some type of medical clinic or maybe Cleveland Clinic can put us a satellite clinic there, hopefully.
Okay, that's a good suggestion. And since you had personal experience with dealing with St. Vincent, I want you to serve on the committee with Dr. Glenn Jarvis and James Jerome Bill. And would you write a letter to whom was concerned that you have a personal interest in the fine service you received for your family during that time?
All right, thank you, Mr. Bibb.
Okay. Mr. Mike Seals?
I'm right here, Mr. Bibb.
Okay. Next week, we will expect you on the show to give us what's going on with the union and how the union is handling this closing of the hospital or downsizing the hospital, because the union is meeting, and tomorrow the employees going to meet with the leadership of the hospital and try to get as much information you can, so we will have you on our podcast again next week with an extension on available opportunities and things like that, what's happening on the inside as far as the union goes.
They will do.
Well, I know you
That's
were
one of
with
the
us.
concerns is,
Go right ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Bibb. No, one of the concerns that was at hand is that, we know that St. Vincent is a union shop, but we're not quite sure as to whether the employees at UH who the St. Vincent employees will be transferring to is represented by a union. So that's one of the concerns, leaving a union shop going into an union shop. But like you said, we'll get more details as time goes on.
Very good. Give us the name of your union. The union's down at St. Vincent. What's the name of that union?
It's SEIU 1199, which is the Service Employees International Union that they are covered under.
Okay. Would you repeat that? Call James Jerome Bill and get a chance to write that down.
It's SEIU 1199, and the SEIU stands for the Service Employees International Union.
All right, very good. Ms. Candace Jones, would you share your feelings about the hospital being downsized. And Ms. Penman, you'll be next.
I feel the same way that it's sad to see that, and again, you know, COVID, these are just the follows up and things that COVID affected. Even though COVID was, you know, started, we're still feeling the effects of it. So I am sad to see that the hospital is downsizing this way, and that the residents in that area will not have that close proximity of a medical facility. So, and hopefully those employees that are affected by this will be able to find jobs somewhere else without affecting their lifestyles as well.
Very good, very good. Thank you. Ms. Shan Penman, would you give us your thoughts?
Yes, Mr. Bibb, I too concur with everyone that has spoken. I think it's awful that they've had to make that decision to close that hospital, especially for that community. They don't have, I mean, the options left to them are Metro, Cleveland Clinic, or university hospitals. And university hospitals, I've just read, was actually closing its Bedford and Richmond Heights hospitals
Oh, my goodness.
for the same conditions. So they won't be having any inpatient care at Bedford. What did I say? Bedford, Richmond Heights, and now St. Vincent Charity Hospital. That's pretty drastic. So, yeah, I don't know what Cleveland Clinic plans to do behind this, but yeah, it's sad to see them go, because they are such a staple in that community as far as healthcare.
And because the medical attention is still needed
Yes,
from the residents in the area.
exactly.
That's
yes.
not slowing down.
And it's a far stretch to have to go to see a doctor at Cleveland Clinic, university hospitals, or Metro if your hospital is right there at your back door. And
Right.
you're used to being able to even walk to it if necessary. Now they're going to have to try to find transportation to get to one of those other locations, and it just won't be as easy. It's a sad fact.
This is really, really hitting the community hard at a bad, bad time. Now, okay,
is.
what I'm gonna do, I think all our hosts will work on that committee. I wasn't aware of the Bedford and other hospitals, so that we can give as much information to the community in Calgary County and let our listening audience from around the country and around the world know what's going on here in Greater Cleveland with our medical care.
Yes.
So we'll just put the whole cast working on this until further notice.
Sounds like a
So
good
we can
plan.
keep everybody up to date, Reverend Fair.
Yes, sir.
And Ben Fair and Ms. Candace Jones, would you try to get this information to Dr. Jarvis after she's finished with her personal business
Yes,
that she was encountering?
yes, I will.
Okay. Then some other news across the country. The train industry, Amtrak and the rest of them, are just about to go on strike. And if you didn't notice, Mike Seals, 40% of what we get come by train, our goods. So they already shut down the train leaving from Chicago to California because it'll go on strike before they get to California, and that stuff will be caught out there on the rails. So in Chicago, they shut that line down today. So everybody watch the national and international news on this, and the company said they're not going to play around, they're just going to lock them out. So if they don't get this settled in the next 72 hours, we're going to have another major crisis that's going to affect our community extra hard. Because if it came by train, more than likely, you know, we were the one who was going to get it first, because that's the slowest way. And the air, we don't use too much of that, as the majority of the community do. So we'll keep an eye on that. And Friday, I think I don't know whether it's Friday midnight or Thursday midnight, that the union and the rail industry have to get together on their contract. And is Mike Seal still with us?
I am
That's
still
definitely
right here,
something that
Mr.
we-
Bibb.
Yeah,
That's definitely something that we
And
will
I
want to
can-
report on our next show, Mr. Bibb, for
right.
sure.
I was going to ask Mike Seal. That's a union piece, and you're a union man. So, would you add
Yes,
that
sir.
to your plate for next week, please? As much information you can get on that. And
I most certainly will, Mr. Bibb. And like you say, I concur with you. I pray that negotiations go sooner than later, because sometimes contract bargaining can take a while. So let us pray that they come to an agreement sooner than later.
all right, thank you.